There are strange things hidden in forests, abandoned cabins, forgotten roads, ruins swallowed by trees. Most of them have explanations. Eventually, someone remembers who built them. Someone finds an old record. Someone tells the story. But every now and then, people discover something that shouldn't exist at all. Something that seems completely disconnected from reality. A few years ago, I found one of those things. A door, standing alone in the middle of the woods. And somehow, it was locked from the inside. This happened during a hiking trip in northern Montana. The trail wasn't remote. In fact, it was fairly popular. I had walked it many times before. The route was familiar, the landmarks were familiar. Nothing about that day suggested anything unusual was about to happen. The weather was clear, the forest was quiet. Everything felt normal, at least in the beginning. About 2 hours into the hike, I noticed something strange. Not a sound. The absence of sound. The birds had stopped singing. The wind seemed to disappear. Even the leaves overhead looked perfectly still. It wasn't frightening, just unusual, the kind of detail most people ignore. But once I noticed it, I couldn't stop thinking about it. A few minutes later, I saw something between the trees. At first, I assumed it was part of an old structure, maybe a shed, maybe a hunting cabin. The shape was too straight to be natural. I changed direction and walked toward it. The closer I got, the less sense it made. It was a door, nothing more, nothing less. No walls, no roof, no foundation, just a single wooden door standing upright in the forest floor. The frame was intact. The hinges were intact. It looked exactly as though an entire house had been erased around it, leaving only the entrance behind. The door was painted dark red. Most of the paint had peeled away. Rust covered parts of the handle. Small scratches ran across the surface. The wood looked decades old, yet it remained perfectly upright. No support beams, no cables, no visible explanation. It should have fallen years ago, but it hadn't. I circled around it several times, looking for hidden supports, looking for evidence that someone had placed it there recently. I found nothing. The ground beneath the frame appeared untouched. Tree roots grew around it naturally, almost as if the door had always been there. Then I tried opening it. The handle turned immediately, but the door refused to move. I pulled harder, nothing. I pushed, nothing. It felt as though a deadbolt was engaged, which made absolutely no sense. There was no room behind it, no wall, no house, no inside, and yet something was keeping it shut. Then I heard a sound. 3 knocks. Slow, deliberate, coming from behind the door. I froze. The sound came again. 3 knocks. The forest remained silent. No birds, no insects, nothing except those knocks. Near the top of the door was a small square window. The glass was dirty, covered in years of grime. I stepped onto a nearby rock and tried looking through it. At first I saw only darkness. Then I thought I saw movement. Something shifted briefly, just beyond the glass. Then it disappeared. That was enough for me. I left, but I couldn't stop thinking about it. That night, I searched online. I expected to find dozens of similar stories. Instead, I found almost nothing, only scattered forum posts. Most were years old, and many described the same thing: a door in the woods, always alone, always locked. One post stood out. It had been written nearly 10 years earlier. The author claimed he found a similar door while camping. He wrote that he heard knocking. He looked through the window, then he left. The next morning, the door was gone. The account ended there. No updates, no explanation. I barely slept that night. By morning, curiosity had completely taken over. I decided to return, this time with a flashlight. a camera, and a crowbar. I wanted answers, even if I wasn't sure I wanted to know them. The forest felt different the second time, darker somehow. The silence returned as soon as I approached the area, and there it was, exactly where I had left it, waiting. 15. The closer I got, the stranger things became. Fresh footprints surrounded the door, dozens of them, some large, some small, all leading toward it, none leading away, not a single set. I examined the lock. It looked ordinary, old, rusty, weak. The crowbar broke it in less than a minute. For several seconds, I simply stood there, hand on the handle, trying to decide whether opening it was a mistake. Eventually, I turned it. The door opened inward. I expected to see trees. Instead, I saw a room, a real room. Wallpaper, carpet, a wooden chair, a lamp glowing softly in the corner. The space shouldn't have fit behind the door. It was physically impossible. Yet there it was. I stepped inside. The temperature changed immediately. The air felt warmer. The room smelled old, not abandoned, lived in, as though someone had left only moments earlier. On a table sat several framed photographs. Every picture showed the same door, taken across different decades, different seasons, different people, but always the same door. One photograph made my stomach drop. It showed 3 hikers standing beside the door. The image looked old. The colors faded. The date on the back read, August 12th, 1983. One of the hikers looked exactly like me. Not similar, not related, exactly me. The same face, the same scar above my eyebrow, everything. There was only one problem. I wasn't born until 1997. I dropped the photograph. When I looked up, the room had changed. The lamp was gone. The chair was gone. The photographs were gone. Only the door remained. I ran. I didn't stop until I reached my car. A week later, I returned with 2 friends. The location was empty. No door, no footprints, nothing. Today, I still have that photograph. I've shown it to experts. No one can explain it. But something else bothers me. Every year, I look at the picture again. And every year, there seems to be one more person standing beside the door, watching the camera, as if they're waiting for someone else to arrive.